Mahalo. And hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you? Especially you, George. George sent in this video. Now, I'm not exactly sure what I'm getting myself into here. It's got something to do with fraternities. Okay. George sent a message, saying, I applaud your attempt to broaden your horizon and learn more about Europe and the world. I just watched your reaction to America's drinking age makes no sense. And as usual, I'm astonished that the creator of the original video thinks that the U.S. is the only place with student fraternities. Yes, I thought that sounded weird. I was skeptical on that being true, and it's not true. Though I have to say that our system in Germany is a lot different. And this video has something to do, or it's a video of one of the oldest fraternities in Germany. And I think it's like, it's not hazing, but it's some kind of talking about the traditions. I don't know, but it's German fraternities, so I'm interested. Let's see. I guess I'll say, go check out Vom Corp Studenten. I guess Corp. That's like one of the fraternities, or something. Sorry, I don't know.
The Kormarcha is a society.
Okay, what are they doing? Oh, it's in English. Perfect.
The Kormarcha is a society of students who joined this corps when they first began their studies, usually.
What the hell are they doing?
And it's a society of people who try to move something in the world. But
is that like a bird glove? I feel like that's the guy at the zoo with a big bird on his arm.
Who
that's the glove.
Try to move something in the world, but most importantly, we're students, we're friends, and we try.
Oh, they got swords. It's like fencing. Oh, that's cool. I need to look up videos on fencing. I've never seen it.
Try to form a bond for life and to keep that bond alive. Mensur to an outsider might look like a duel. There's two opponents, both having a blade. It's about 1 meter long. That's ground to sharpness, much like a scalpel. They have seconds. You watch the rules. The values instilled by the Mensur in my eyes, in the eyes of many of my core brothers, are among others the self-discipline. First,
is the hat part of it?
First of all, to practice for hundreds of hours for this one moment, for what might be 2 rounds, it might be 30 seconds with the actual sharp blade.
Wow.
But more importantly, you learn to adhere to the rules, even in instances where you're full of adrenaline, of fear even, where you know you have to remain calm and make calm decisions and rely on what you have learned.
So I guess fencing is a big part of this fraternity.
You want a society of academics that helps you to broaden your horizon, and for that it helps to have people from different walks of life. Obviously, we still have people who come from good families. We're happy to have other people. And this is one of the founding principles of the course, that we wouldn't discriminate. We're happy to have you if you're a good guy, if we like you. Okay. Honor is still one of the central aspects of life.
It's got a totally different vibe than American fraternities.
In a core.
This, like he just said the word honor, and that feels like, this feels very historic, whereas American fraternities is mostly about partying. I mean, really, maybe they would disagree. Some probably wouldn't disagree. It's about brotherhood and partying.
Honor, of course, sounds very outdated to a young student today in his early 20s. But honor, we believe, is just an expression of the self-worth that you have because you haven't done anything wrong. You're in the right. That is honor. Obviously, there are cynics who say
Hey, they do drink beer.
that one of the main motivations for joining a corps are the connections you do get with it. To those, I can say, though, that there's so much time, energy you have to bring up.
There's definitely a lot of that like networking aspect here in America, where if you're in a fraternity, it does help you get a job at a, I don't understand exactly how it all works, but I guess, other people who were in that fraternity are more likely to hire you if you were in that fraternity too. You're like a brother.
There are really easier ways to get connections.
It's a way to network.
Being in your 20s, it's rather hard to imagine yourself being 55 or even 85, coming back here, but then you see the core brothers at these stages, at this age, how their eyes light up once they walk through the door here, how they once again, they're 20, they're 25. Beer obviously does play, well, a good part. After all, we are students. Any student
I didn't expect him to be holding a beer this whole time.
does play, well, a good part. After all, we are students. Any student likes to drink, and
Any student likes to drink. Amen.
we have plenty of evenings where we have our beer, and there are formal occasions where, we drink our beers, probably more than 2 or 3. Might be even a bit more than the average student, but that is for everyone else, for everybody himself to decide to some extent.
Okay, I need to know more. Hold on. All right, so digging a little bit deeper into it, I keep hearing this word, menfer, which is the style of fencing, I suppose. Go check out Borf. He's got this video on the whole subject.
German fraternities, including this one, practice Menscher, or academic fencing, which is a fixed stance style of fencing where the combatants stand with one arm behind their back while waving the sword over their head. This is not the fencing you see at the Olympics. The strikes are always overhand or sideways, never a lunge. The last recorded thrust Menscher occurred in 1860, which is a good thing because up until that time it was not uncommon for fraternity members to die due to Lungenfuscher, or pierced lungs. The name
People
Menscher
died?
comes from dimensus, the Latin word for dimension, and refers to the distance between opponents. Originally, no armor was worn, but in the interest of not having people
What?
die, they wear neck, eye, and arm protection.
That's it? Oh my god, this is crazy.
You might have noticed that I didn't say head protection. For a long time, it was a mark of honor, or at least a mark of being a badass to get a schmish, or a smite as the word translates to, which is a sword scar across the head or cheek. Now,
I mean, it is kind of badass, but oh my god.
nowadays, this isn't as common, because modern medicine reduces the level of scarification from sword wounds, and some people think it
Darn.
shows more skill to avoid being slashed than to just stand there like a blood piñata. During the Third Reich, student fraternities and the practice of Menscher were outlawed. This is
Oh,
interesting,
really?
because if you try to find images of a Schmitz on Google Images, it will turn up a lot of Nazi officers who can be identified as former fraternity members by the large puckering scars on their cheeks. The reason behind the ban was that student organizations often focus on individual responsibility and honing a personal viewpoint through debate, which runs counter to extreme, unquestioning nationalism. The main event happens around a table shaped like a skinny capital T. Marcus shows me to a chair while the senior members
Why did Hitler ban it?
take their place at the wide end of the table. The junior members sit along the edges of the table. And today, a visiting representative from another fraternity sits at the opposite end from Marcus. They both control the activities of their half of the table by announcing "Silencium!" and then slamming a fencing sword on the table. At this point, they often give speeches or lead the group in songs. Once they finish, the leaders sit back down and then everyone breaks into smaller groups. The whole process repeats about once every 10 to 15 minutes and usually involves a lot of toasting with beer. I'm 23, stupid, have an empty stomach, and don't drink normally, so of course I make the poor life choice of trying to keep up with it.
Wow. Okay, well that was all very interesting. I'm gonna have to learn more about German fraternities. What an interesting piece of history there. And it turns out it's not just America with fraternities. Who knew? Thanks for watching. Go check out Borf. And I'll have links to both videos down there in the description. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.